We're live.
Awesome. Okay, so quick roll call here at City Hall today. We have representatives from staff, Alana and Travis. From the board, we have Nick Brash, Richard Walker, Don Marini, Lawrence Foster, and myself, Beverly Barber. And then online, we have Tara from the city and Kevin joining us remotely. Okay, did everyone have a chance to look at the last set of board meetings? Were there minutes? Were there any concerns, questions, or amendments that they'd like to make? Okay, if I can call for a mover on those. Lawrence and a seconder. Don, all in favor. Kevin, will assume you're good unless you say otherwise.
Yes, I'll stay muted. I'm on a deck in downtown Halifax.
Okay, oh dear. We did have one declaration of pecuniary interest from Lawrence, and that was with regards to Kim, correct?
Correct.
And Richard, with regards to the book review. Thank you. Okay, with that, I will turn it over to Travis and Alana for a brief tourism update and overview.
Okay, I can start, Travis, if you want.
Yeah.
On the Pride Train. Just a quick update to the board. Last month, we shared that we were looking to go ahead with a rainbow weekend with the Egg Cannon Tour Train and Miss Marie Lock Tour Boat to try and create some sort of a themed opportunity to bring more people in from out of town and ideally fill the train on a day that it was historically quite low. We made the unfortunate decision that we canceled the train. The ticket numbers were too low to make it financially viable. And as such, we gave the 2-week window notice to the train to be able to pull out of that agreement so that they could try and resell tickets for that day. The numbers for the train for this particular project were just too low. So we have some regrouping to do between our local organizing committees and our staff to look at, you know, what went wrong, maybe where we can improve, and is it something that we want to try and look at again. We are still going to move forward with the boat. Ticket numbers are not great for that, but they're enough that we can make it work. So using that, we'll do a debrief following these events and see where we land for next year, if it's something that we want to continue to still do, or if we're going to let the idea go. But I'm just wanted to provide everybody with an update on that, because last month we had announced that we were doing it, and this now canceled, which is unfortunate.
Okay, I'll give a brief update. So we had actually 3 different events with respect to mountain biking and trail utilization, one of which Nick was involved with the Salty Marie, which is a mountain bike race and trail running event that happened July 27th, 28th. For the first year, the attendance was really good. It was about 160 attendees. We had quite a few from Southern Ontario, Michigan, and Wisconsin. So it looks like, you know, for the first year, it's got a good appeal and hopefully one that we can grow in the future. We had another event this week, which is the Norco Dirt Series, which is a training event where they bring people in and they give specific, you know, skills development, trying to grow, you know, individuals' ability to ride their bikes. Historically, a very big, you know, product in the West, kind of heavily oriented BC, Washington, Oregon. So it's nice that they've recognized Sault Ste. Marie as a great destination, and they as well were able to draw people from Michigan and Wisconsin, which is great. And we did have, I was talking to a group, they brought up 16 people from Southern Ontario, and they stayed up for about 4 days. So we're starting to see some impact. That's in addition to it's pretty much every time I go biking and others have gone biking, they're encountering people from either Southern Ontario, Michigan, or Wisconsin. So it's nice to see. What's coming up September 16th and 17th, which again is kind of a recognition of what we've got here. The Ontario Cycling Association has decided to put on a youth training camp where they're bringing a provincial and national coach one of which his daughter just won the World Championships mountain biking in Scotland, and also a World Cup championship for cyclocross. They're looking at bringing either a World Cup / Olympic team member that's active, and possibly a retired World Cup member as well. So it's a really good opportunity and links back to some of the races that we're looking at next year. So it's been positive in terms of the growth that we're seeing. The other one that's not on the list, but I thought it was just thought of it last minute here and worthwhile to speak about. There's been a series of council meetings where they're having quite a debate over Queen Street improvements, which include repaving of Queen Street, putting in the infrastructure, so the sewers and utilities, as well as the streetscaping. My particular opinion is it's a very important decision for City Council to make. When you look at some of the well-known tourism attraction communities around the area, whether it's Petoskey, Traverse City, what have you, those are groups where their city is designing themselves around tourism. And I think based on the design drawings that were shared with the public and staff, I think there's an opportunity to really develop a beautiful downtown. So it's going back to City Council on next Monday, the 28th. And hopefully, they'll make an actual decision as to which direction they want to go. But, hopefully they consider the economic impact, from tourism and community development as well. So those are the items. I wanted to just touch on the mat collection. So we're seeing a slight dip in terms of occupancy rates. I think May we were at 68.9% in 2022. 2023 we were at 66%. June of 2022 was 74.3%, and this year was 73.1%. We're not seeing that reflect in the mat collections, probably for two reasons. One, we've started collecting the mat off of short-term accommodations like Airbnbs and VRBOs. We're going to try to get a breakdown of what that dollar value is for the next meeting from our finance group, so we can see what the impact is. And I know also we're seeing, I think, significantly higher rates, or at least a nice uptick in rates with our hotels. So positive. I think we're sitting at $687,442 collected so far. So it's, we're heading in the right direction for sure. And that concludes my update for now. So we're going close. I don't know if there's any questions on that.
I do have a quick question, Travis. Like, I know you guys engage with the bus tour groups and stuff like that. Have they said anything? I was reading something about China putting Canada on the do not book list or don't book tour lists and stuff like that. I don't know if that's going to impact necessarily this year, but have they talked about that?
China right now has no tour groups traveling outbound of China. So, and they haven't since COVID. So I don't think there's a lot of change there. We're actually anticipating in the next couple of years that we'll see China reopen, but right now it's completely closed.
And we're not seeing that reflect in the train bookings so far. Like the bookings are, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but they're higher than they were last year already.
Yeah, our group numbers are higher. I don't want to say them because I'm not 100% on the numbers, but last I looked, they were about 20% higher than they were for 2022.
This is the bus tour.
The bus tour groups. We're seeing interest in other countries, which is neat. High interest in UK, Korea, Japan, Germany. China, it was one of our largest markets, and until that returns, I think we're going to see kind of slower growth on the other end. We are seeing too, and actually maybe we'll put it on the agenda for next month. I can do a full bus tour update from Caitlin. Maybe I can bring her and she can talk about it. We're seeing groups that are coming to for other purposes other than the train, which is nice. We're seeing groups that are booking for fall color tour, Lake Spirit Coastal Drive, groups that are coming in for Road Scholar and some of the attractions as well. So we'll put together a list. It's interesting to look at it when you break it down.
interesting you make that comment, because last year, we had, I did a guide for 2 of the bus tours where they had supper at the bush plane. And half the bus actually went up the coast, and
Yeah.
half the bus went on the train.
Yeah.
But they were here with cars, obviously.
Mhm.
And we're seeing more and more of that, which is nice.
Excellent. Okay, anything else here?
As we go into close.
So we're gonna move into close. Result that this committee proceeds into closed session to discuss matters concerning confidential third-party information. Further be it resolved that should the said closed session be adjourned, the committee may reconvene in open session to continue to discuss the same matter without the need for a further authorizing resolution. Municipal Act Section 239-2I, a trade secret or scientific, technical, commercial, financial, or labor relations information supplied in confidence to the municipality or local board, which if disclosed could be reasonably be expected to produce significantly the competitive position or interfere significantly with the contractual or other negotiations of a person, group of persons, or organization. Do I have a mover to go into close? Richard and Lawrence as a seconder. And Tara, let us know when we are